All right, I'm back. It is 6 in the afternoon. It is day 52 of this challenge. And we still have some more drops to get in the Fire Spring Sanctuary. We already got arguably the hardest drop in the entire game, the Star Pendant from the Major Psychic Psycho, which is the only enemy I am allowing exploits on. So yeah, we got the Star Pendants for Ness, Paula, and Jeff. Pooh's the only one who can't equip the Star Pendant, so that sucks. And the Star Pendant is actually the best defense item in the game because it provides 80% protection against fire, freeze, flash, and paralysis attacks, which is pretty good. But is it worth the effort? No, because it's literally the hardest drop in the game to get. And the reason why it's the hardest is because the enemy that drops it never fights alone. And the more enemies you fight during a battle, the lower the drop rates get, since the game has to decide which enemy will have an item. And enemies that have higher odds for their drop are going to be favored more. But since the Major Psychic Psycho is a 1 in 128 chance, the lowest odds an enemy can have, the game won't really choose that as a candidate. And then on top of that, you just have to get lucky with the percentage. So yeah, they never fight alone, which basically makes the 1 in 128 chance into a 1 in 256 chance, making it even harder to get. But yeah, that's why I use the exploit, because it's so difficult to get, even if I do use save states. So yeah, I did have to break 2 rules, but hey, in order to pull the exploit off, I have to use the exploit, because it's the only enemy I allow exploits on. And then I have to use the spy command, which I'm not allowed to use, to pull off the exploit. So yeah, that doesn't count as cheating for that. But in every other case, it does. All right, so we're back in the Fire Spring Sanctuary. Now, I'm going to try to target an enemy with a lower drop rate. Well, they all have low drop rates. But we might as well just start with the ones with a 2 in 128 chance. And it's difficult to see who I'm targeting since every enemy in this sanctuary has the same overworld sprite. So I don't know which enemy this is until the battle starts. Okay, it's an evil elemental. All right, the evil elemental is singled out, and we have the save state. The evil elemental here has a 2 in 128 chance of dropping a luxury jerky. So this is going to take a while, most likely. But let's just go ahead and start. And because we killed the Sanctuary Guardian yesterday, we're able to insta-kill the evil elemental. Okay, so Jeff is leveling up after we killed the evil elemental. And because we're insta-killing him, that means the way I know how I got the drop is after Jeff levels up. Because for some reason in this game, like when you're inside an actual battle and you kill all the enemies, it'll say you won, and then it will say how much XP everyone gets. And then if you happen to get a drop, it will say the enemy left a present. And then you get the drop. And then if you level up after getting the drop, you level up after that. But when you insta kill an enemy, it actually works the opposite way. You still get the U1 text and how much XP everyone gains. But if you're leveling up, you level up first, and then if you happen to get the drop, you get the drop after leveling up, which makes no sense to me. Because why wouldn't they just choose one over the other? Why does it have to work two separate ways? But hey, at least Jeff is leveling up after we kill the evil elemental. Because Jeff is in some need of IQ right now so that he can fix the broken antenna. That way we can finally get to use Jeff's ultimate weapon called the Gaia Beam. Because he can't use it yet. You know, it's still the broken antenna because he doesn't have enough IQ to fix it right now. Also, there's a pretty high chance that we might be able to finish the challenge by the end of the week, which is pretty good. Because do you guys realize that after the Fire Spring Sanctuary drops are done, Chapter 8 is going to be done? And then Chapter 9 will begin? And then Chapter 9, you know, it's not exactly too many drops to get in Chapter 9. Because Chapter 9 is the final chapter of the game. And there's only 4 locations in Chapter 9. In Magicant, I think there's only like 5 drops. Yeah, there's 5 drops. And then after that is Invaded One-It, which has 3 drops. And then after that is the Cave of the Past, which has 6 more drops. So yeah, we have less than 20 drops to get. Which may not sound like a lot, but trust me, it's still a lot. Like, we still have a whole bunch of story to go through. And when I did this challenge for the first time, and I was grinding for the evil elementals drop, I expected it to take a while to do. But nope, it only took me 23 resets. And I'm saying resets because that's how I counted encounters when I did this the first time. I didn't like actually count the amount of encounters. Because what I mean by reset is, you know, it's exactly what I'm doing right now. Resetting the save state and then manipulating the RNG to get the drops. So in reality, when I did this the first time, it took 24 encounters. But since the first encounter didn't count, and I had to wait until the reset, the first reset was done, that's when I would start counting it. But yeah, saying resets really isn't the best way to count the encounters. But that's why we're counting encounters for this redemption. I actually used to count the encounters out loud, but I would just frequently lose count. So yeah, ever since like the end of chapter 2, that's when I stopped counting the encounters out loud. And I'll just save the counting for when I was editing the footage. Cause I don't want to spread misinformation. Cause I would just frequently lose count. Yeah, I'm just praying that it won't take a long time to get the evil elementals drop. Especially since it is a 2 in 128 chance of getting it. But that's the thing with this challenge and manipulating the RNG. I keep resetting the save state to manipulate the RNG. And even though I am manipulating it, I still can't guarantee that I'm gonna get the drop on the next attempt. Because you never know. That's why this challenge is basically just a test of patience and persistence. Like, especially when it comes to the drops with a 1 in 128 chance. Like, you really have to be patient with those. Hold on. My bad, guys. My brother just has a habit of not closing the door. Dude, I don't know why he does that sometimes. Sometimes he just leaves the door open. Wait, and if we get the evil elementals drop fast, then we have time to get the we have time to get another drop, in which it will be another 2 and 128 drop. But you know, if we don't get this guy's drop fast, then we'll just have to save the next 2 drops for tomorrow. In which that's still good, because I'm not on a time limit. I can take as many days as I want to complete this challenge. Yes. Ooh, let's go. There we go. We got the evil elementals drop. Dude, why did I have a feeling that that was actually going to be the attempt where I got it, though? Like, for some reason, I just had a strong feeling that that was going to be the attempt where I got it. And it was. All right, but there we go. Luxury jerky. This looks unreal. I have 2 spicy jerkies, 3 luxury jerkies, and I still have the large pizza that I got from the Stinky Ghost in chapter 5. Like, seriously though, why do I still have that? I'm surprised it managed to last this long. Alright, let's go get another drop. Okay, what are you? You are not the enemy I wanted to target. What about you? You're also not the right enemy. Okay, what about you? There we go. Alright, so that's the soul-consuming flame. We have him singled out. We have the save state. And the soul-consuming flame here has a 2 in 128 chance of dropping a meteorite. So yeah, it's another enemy that drops a useless item, but we have to get it. Otherwise, I will fail the challenge. But let's just go ahead and start grinding. Oh, we're not strong enough to kill it? Seriously? Nah, bro, this is a scam, man. This is a scam. Keep in mind, the soul-consuming flame is the weakest enemy here. And I'm not strong enough to insta-kill it. Yeah, hopefully this one won't take long either. Because, you know, I don't want to spend all day getting drops. But seriously, I have stuff to do. Because, you know, I still have to go through all this footage and upload unedited and edited versions of this footage. Yes. Let's go. There we go. Meteorite. We got the soul-consuming flames drop. There's only one more drop in the Fire Spring Sanctuary. But we're not getting that today. Because I've reached my limit for today. And plus, I just don't grind that much on school days to begin with. So even though I just had to fight a Psychic Psycho there, we don't care about the Psychic Psycho right now. Dude, why do they always get right in the middle of the door? So yeah, we're gonna go to the shop in the Lost Underworld so that we can sell the Meteorite for $2,000. Because, you know, Meteorites are useless. Like, the only point of them is to sell them for money. And yeah, it's nice that if you do manage to get an enemy's drop that just so happens to be a Meteorite, like, it's like the $2,000 bonus is it's nice as a reward for working so hard, or you just got the Meteorite randomly. Like, it's not difficult to get $2,000 in this game. So I consider the Meteorite as well as the Meteornium useless. And Meteorniums are only dropped by enemies in the early game and not in the late game. And you only get $1,000 from selling Meteorniums. So yeah, obviously Meteorites are worth more. But, you know, both items are useless. Alright, but both of those drops took quite a long time. So this is going to be a lot of footage for me to go through when I'm going to have to edit it. Did anyone take any damage? Jeff has 62 IQ. He's literally 3 IQ points off from being able to fix the broken antenna. Alright, let's save the game. Alright, that is it for today. Tomorrow, we're gonna get the Psychic Psychos drop. And then Chapter 8 will finally be complete. But not today. I've reached my limit.